been known by many names: white lightning, corn liquor, rot gut, ruckus juice, and many more. But most simply know it as moonshine. According to KentuckyMonthly.com, this homebrewed whiskey was once even used as currency in some rural communities. Now an illegal trade, it was once a respected craft. Through research, I have found a history riddled with violence, gangs, folk heroes, and so much more. Moonshining is part of our history. It's a part of Kentucky culture, and it's a tradition that's been lost in most communities now. This is a lesson on the tradition of moonshining and homebrewing whiskey. First, some of you may be wondering what is moonshine and how is it made. Moonshine is made from many different ingredients. A few examples are filtered spring water, sugar, yeast, and your alcohol maker, generally corn or fruit. Now we'll talk about the process of making alcohol. The process of making the moonshine is an age-old tradition passed down in Kentucky by our Scottish and Irish ancestors, according to Jason Sumac of the Appalachian State University's Anthropology Department. It begins with making a mash. According to LearnToMoonshine.com, you will need a large pot, a funnel, a plastic bucket, a 5-gallon pail, cheesecloth, and a brewer's thermometer. For the ingredients, you will need crushed corn, spring water, crushed malted barley, and yeast. After you've made your mash and let it ferment, it's time to distill. The distillation process is where the alcohol is separated from the mash water. The process starts by straining your fermented mash into your still. The liquid is then heated. As the alcohol evaporates at a lower temperature than the water, the alcohol vapor separates and is caught in the cap here. The vapors are sent down the pipe to a second distillation process called the doubler. The doubler is filled partially with water, and as the vapors enter, they fill the water. They're cooled by the water and condense, while slowly raising the alcohol volume of the water and simultaneously heating the water. Once the water is heated enough to allow the alcohol vapor back out of it, the product that started at 40% alcohol is now almost an 80% alcohol, hence the name the doubler. After the vapors are collected from the thump keg, they are transferred to the condenser, better known as the copper worm. This is a spiral of copper piping submerged in a barrel of cold water meant to cool the steam back into its liquid form. Now that we know what it is and how it's made, how about a little history on moonshining in our culture? Homebrewed whiskey predates America itself. KentuckyMonthly.com states that the tradition can even be traced back to ancient Egypt. It was once a well-respected craft that generated supplement income for rural families. Farmers oftentimes allocated much of their crop to making whiskey, as it was easier to transport to town than large amounts of corn. Jason Sumac of the Appalachian State University states that the trouble for home brewers really started when the American government itself started taxing the brewing process, which later sparked a rebellion in 1794, the Whiskey Wars. In 1803, those taxes were repealed. Later, during the Civil War, the federal government began taxing alcohol again. Taxes were as much as 8 times the cost of the liquor itself, making many home brewers take to brewing their whiskey in private. These taxes and the practice of outlaw brewing, are still going on today. Though it started from humble beginnings, moonshine became a part of Kentucky and America's heritage. Moonshine is our history. It is an undeniable part of our past that's slowly fading into obscurity. In today's culture, this beautiful artisan's craft is synonymous with crime, a tragic crime in itself, robbing us of a piece of ourselves. For it was Martin Luther King Jr. who was credited with saying, "We're not makers of history, we're made by history."